Welcome, and today we'll be doing card number 2 in our Pretty Pumpkins class kit. And if you're ever wondering what class kit I'm offering, you can check out my website www.carolbcrafts.com, and it'll tell you the dates and what I'm doing and what you have to do to get it. So hopefully you'll check that out. So Pretty Pumpkins is been fun to play with. Today we're going to be doing something a little different because these colors are not your usual Thanksgiving colors, but I thought you guys would enjoy doing something a little different. We're using Misty Moonlight and Sahara Sand. These are the two colors here, and of course white. All right, so let's get our kit, which I have to go get mine. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's our kit, and you're going to get this one here. I try to put them in order that we do so that you don't get them mixed up. So everything here tucked in this envelope right here is what we want. And I will give dimensions as we go along, so if you want to make more, or if you're watching and you don't have the kit, maybe you can substitute it with things that you have at home. So let's just go ahead and get started. Have our 8.5 by 5.5 thick basic white cardstock, and I scored it at 4 1/4. This is a portrait card. There is no ribbon, there's some trim, but we can just go ahead and start building our card. We have a piece of Sahara Sand that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. That should be pretty familiar to you. So go ahead and put that on. Some people use colored cardstock as a card base. I do not like to do that. I like the more elegant feel of the white cardstock, so to change that up, I use a colored cardstock very close to the edge of the white. I don't like to cover up the white completely with the colored cardstock. I like to leave just a 1/16 of an inch all around, so you still get the effect of colored cardstock underneath like a card base, but you still get the elegance of the white. That's why I always do usually 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 is my basic card base. Then we have 2 pieces of Misty Moonlight, which is a gorgeous blue color, and these are the same size, and they are, let me check here, these are 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to put one of these Misty Moonlights down here on the front, and again it looks like this is 1/16 of an inch all around, and then on the inside we're going to put one of the Misty Moonlight. And there we go. Ta-da! Awesome. Now we have some beautiful DSP from the Harvest Meadows DSP pack. It's going to go here, and we have a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch around, but not quite 1/4. So I wanted a little more of that beautiful blue to show, but not so much that it just overpowered. So I kind of gave it a little bit more than 1/8 and less than 1/4. Okay, there we go. Awesome, awesome. Now we will be stamping on this 3 3/4 by 5. 3 3/4 by 5. We'll be stamping the inside. So thankful for you. Beautiful font. And we'll be using the beautiful Misty Moonlight ink, which matches so beautifully the cardstock. That's what's great about Stampin' Up. Everything matches. The cardstock, the paper, the ink. You don't have to spend hours shopping. It's all available in one spot. Okay, and what am I looking for? I don't know. I guess I'm looking for my, oh, there it is. My pearls. They're in there. They're just hard to see. Okay. Just want to make sure I have my pearls. Okay, and then this gorgeous piece here. So we'll set this aside. We're going to stamp on that. This is going to go about here. And then this is going to go about here. So let me tell you where I got these guys at. Okay. So this piece, this here comes from the Stitched So Sweetly dies. It is the second, let me make sure, second largest. That's what I thought. It's this one right here. So that would be the largest. This would be the next largest. And these are great dies. These Stitch So Sweetly dies. I use them all the time. Now this is a piece, and I think I might have given you a piece of this that you didn't need. I might have by mistake. Okay, so this is, it started out at this is punched with the Pretty Labels punch, and I started out with 3.5 by 7/8. So 3.5 this way, 7/8 that way. And I don't think this is, no, that's not, this must be for something else. I don't know. Maybe, oh, I know what that is. That's for die cutting our our leaves. Duh. Okay, so 7/8 by 3.5, and I punched it with the Pretty Labels punch. So that's where that came from. That's going to go underneath our label, which is basic white, and it was 2 and it's hard for me to read. Okay, there it is. 7/8 by 3.5. No, that can't be right. Okay, so this is 3 3/4 by 1 inch. I started out with 3 3/4 by 1 inch. Punch that with the Lovely Labels punch. Then this is 7/8 by 3.5. Not like I told you this one. So 1 inch by 3 3/4, 7 inch by 3.5, and I punched it with the Lovely Labels punch as well. And then this is from the Stitch So Sweetly dies. This is a piece of Sahara sand, and it is 2 1/4 by 3 3/8, and I embossed it with the Tasteful Textures Tasteful Textiles card embossing folder. Oh goodness, it's Friday. Okay, so this is going to go here inside the stitching that's around there, and then that's going to go right here. Okay, so I think I will wait to put that on. This is a piece of Misty Moonlight. It's got adhesive backing on it, and that's important because this is for our pumpkin, and that way we can do our pumpkins. So 2 1/8 by 4, and that's going to be for our pumpkin. So let me get our pumpkin die out, the detailed pumpkins. This gorgeous little pumpkin right here. We are going to die cut that. I'm just going to tape that down so it doesn't move, and using the removable tape. Now this piece of Misty Moonlight is 1 inch by 4 1/4, and that we're going to do our leaves. So let's get out our leaves. We have 3 leaves. I think we use this big one, and we use this smaller one here. But you can die cut all 3. So I use the one that's more elongated. But yeah, I'll go ahead and die cut all 3 since I have plenty of room for that. Okay, and so let's go ahead and do our die cutting. And I like to use my baby. So I call it the baby. It's actually the mini. So we'll do 1 and 2 plate. Then our beautiful pumpkin die. I'll get that on there a little bit better. And we're going to run that through. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to go kind of slow because I'm on paper. And I want to make sure that I do this really well. Now let's see if that cut all the way through. It looks like it did. If you can kind of feel, then you know that it cut all the way through. And now we'll do our leaves. You can see I'm kind of out of camera here. I didn't use any tape for our leaves, so hopefully they will stay in place as I crank them through. There goes my paper. No matter how hard I try, it always moves. I can fix it. Okay, that is our die cutting. Put this away. Fix my paper. There. Hopefully that'll hold in place. And you'll probably want to get your die brush out. Your die brush for your, take your pick tool, die brush. Save this. You need this. Don't throw it away. Okay, did that go through? Did that cut? It did. It's just kind of hard because because it has adhesive backing, it wants to stay together, but it did cut. So maybe I need to get a little more aggressive, you think? Yeah, that is really fine. So, and it's hard to tell what needs to stay and what needs to go when it's all together like this. So take your time, don't rip anything. This is just a beautiful die and a beautiful color, so I thought the two went well together. And it's nice to have a break from the orange and the browns and the reds of the fall season, huh? A little bit of a break, although we love those colors too. It's kind of like pumpkin spice, you know, you can get too much of it if you're not careful. When they start making everything pumpkin spice, you start thinking you kind of had enough. Okay, I don't know, maybe you love pumpkin spice and you can't get enough of it, but it seems like they had to make everything pumpkin spice now. Okay, so this paper, this adhesive is going to make everything so much easier for us. You'll see in just a minute. dump off my junk. Now, I asked you to save this piece of white, which is also the same size as the blue. And guess what? If you notice, there's a background here behind the pumpkin. All right, so yeah, we're gonna cut that. We're gonna use this as a template. But because we don't want our pencil marks to show, we're gonna flip this around and do it opposite of the pumpkin so that any pencil marks are gonna be on the back. Now you can tape this down if you don't feel comfortable. Let me go ahead and mark here, and then I'm going to tape that down where I marked so I don't have to worry about marking under it. And that'll just kind of keep it from, and I'm going all the way around. Now I could have done this for you guys, and I thought about it, but then I thought better of it. I thought, oh my gosh, how much work would that be? And hopefully they won't mind. So you're going to get your scissors and you're going to cut just on the inside of that line, just like a hair on the inside of that line, not more than that, just so that there's just enough that there isn't any of the pencil marks showing. That way you'll get full coverage when you put it. And you know what, if you mess up, most of you have white cardstock. You can just use your template and do another one. Try again. And the only reason you have the line isn't going to show. The only reason you have to go on just on the inside of the line is because you don't want the white to show outside of the pumpkin. Okay, so if you've done a good job, when you turn it around, you will have, it will fit. You won't have any showing on the edge, although you could probably try to trim it if there was, but most importantly, you don't want to cut it short. So you see how that is? And now you're going to see why it's so important. Check. It's so important to have this and use the adhesive sheets, because if you don't, you will be a sad puppy trying to do this. All right, so I'm trying to remember which was the best. Was it the best to line up the stem and then just come around like so, and then push down the center? There we go. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Now they could have made us a die that did that, but we would have had another die that we would have had to pay for. So this way we don't have to pay for another die. We did it ourselves. We figured that one out all by ourselves. All right, and then we have our gorgeous little leaves over here, and we can poke those out with our tool. Like I said, we don't need all three, but it's easier to tell which ones you need once they're die cut. Looking at the dies themselves, you can't really tell. Okay, I'm going to put my dies back because I don't want to lose any of them. There we go. So this is ready to go on here, And how did I put that on? I use glue dots for that. Glue dots are fun, except I don't have any right here. Let me grab them. So I'll put one up here at the top of the stem and twist it away. And the good thing about glue dots instead of glue is it does give you just a little dimension. And you do want to, you don't want to go skimpy because this is going to be on texture paper, and that means it's going to be oh, you know, before we do that, we need to do something else. Let's not do that. Don't do that yet. We need to do this. So what you're going to do is, if you look at the bow and the twine are all one piece. And how you get that is you're going to figure about about 3 inches, and then you're going to, let's just say, two inches, okay? And then you're going to make your bow. And you guys know how to do your bows, right? You have 2 loops, and I'm going to make my loops bigger because I can always adjust my bow later. Okay, 2 loops, cross one over and push it through the hole. Most of you know how to do that. You've done it before. Except I didn't do it right. Alright, so here's our 2 loops. Take this one, cross it over, make like an X. And then this one's going to go through the hole that you just made. And this is not going to be easy to do because you get confused about which one you need to pull through. Okay, so try to keep that hole so that you can get that one through. Once you get it through, you're fine. It's just getting it through. Now let's see, do I have enough to do what I need to do? Yes, I do. Except my bow is a little too big. So I can make it smaller. And then pull it tight. Pulling it tight is important. Okay, that's a little bit bigger than the one that I have. I can make it smaller by pulling on there. It's just make sure you pull that, hold both of your loops like this and just pull as tight as you can, and then you'll have your little bow. Okay, and then on the back we're going to put some Stampin' Seal. I did this and this, and this is going to be like about a 1/2 inch from the top. And I'm pushing it in that, I put some there to help it hold really well. Okay, now we can put our pumpkin on. There we go. There's our pumpkin. And let's just go ahead and put it on our card. I'm going to put some here on that so that it stays down. Make sure you have room here for this. There we go. Push it down really good. especially here where your bow is. Now it looks like I put a glue dot. So do you know how to roll a glue dot? You just take it and you kind of roll it like dough. Roll it up. And then I'm going to stick it underneath there. And I'm going to push it under to hide it. And that's going to hold my bow in place. And that's important. One, it keeps it from unraveling, and then the other thing is it keeps it from moving. Let's go ahead and put this on with some glue dots. Now that we have our other piece on, we can do that. And it's just going to go right there. Awesome. So we'll be stamping on this and stamping on that. And we have our leaves. So now it's easier to tell which leaf is which. So this leaf that looks kind of like a tongue, and then this leaf, not this one, but these two. This one is going to go here, and then this one is going to go on top of it like that. And then our pearl is going to go there. So let's go ahead and put this on with some glue dots. I'm going to use this to help with my placement. Okay, and then this one, I think I'll use 2 for that one. Try to stay in camera. It's going to go right here. Tuck it underneath there. There we go. And we'll do our pearls last. So let's go ahead and get our Stamparatus out. We saved the best for last, right? So let me clean up this mess here. All my stuff. Here's our Stamparatus. Get my random stamp pad. Just happens to be handy. So we've got 2 things we need to stamp. We need to stamp Gather Together and So Thankful for You. So Gather Together and So Thankful for You. I don't know where my other stamps are. They're somewhere around here. And here's our window sheet, our 4x6 window sheet. We'll put that in our corner. Let's do our Gather Together first. Make sure it's right, not upside down. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes it's upside down. Then I have my little piece of scratch paper with a little bit of Stampin' seal on it. And I'm going to put that there. Get my beautiful blue Misty Moonlight out. And ink that up. Ooh, that's a lot of ink. that has a lot of ink. You can tell it's new and hasn't been around long. I'm going to slide that under here. And I love this font. I love, love, love it. So you just want to center it so that it is where you want it to be. And when it is, you can put this down and make sure it doesn't move. And gee, that's got so much ink on it already, I may not even have to re-ink it. Oh wow, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Sorry, my allergies. Let me check my comments here. Okay, it looks like it's still Pat and Sheila and me. So we'll clean this off. And I need to dry it off because it's a little wet. And then we're going to get, so we're done with this. Clean up our plastic as well so we can reuse it. And this is going to be on our 3 3/4 by 5 piece of whisper weight, or not whisper weight, basic weight. Let's stamp. It's going to be in the corner. So thankful for you. Again, beautiful font. And we stamp that, make sure everything's in the corner. This time I kind of go easy on this blue because it is so inky. But we like it inky. Makes our job so much easier. So now I'm just going to slide this underneath here and level it, make sure it's in the corner and level. Okay, that looks good. So thankful for you. And again, ink, beautiful. And clean off that stamp. We're getting close to being done. Isn't that nice? Dry it up. Okay, make sure no inky fingers. Don't want any tears. If you do need that extra piece, I always try to give you 2 so that, you know, you get a second chance. I believe in second chances. So, and down here we have a piece of DSP. This is, did I write it down? I'm just going to tell you. It is 3.5 by 3/4. Why do I even bother? I just should look. I should just measure it instead of trying to find it on my sheet. It's just going to go down here at the bottom a little bit on the edges. There's a little bit. It doesn't go side to side. It just goes about 1/8 of an inch from the edge, each edge. Ta-da! Okay, that's going to go on the inside. Okay, so here we go. This is going to go here. And then lastly, again, I might use glue for this because it's a little bit of a tight fit. And I need some wiggle room, so I'm going to use glue. There we go. Let that dry. Now all we have left to do is our pearls. So I'm going to grab my pearls out of here. We have one, these are Pearl Basic Jewels. The large one is going to go up here above this leaf right here. Isn't that so pretty? So elegant. And then these little ones, you can see there's 2 here and 2 there. So we're going to put 1 and 2 and 1 can too. All right. All set. All done. Oh, this is my, forgot to put that away with my Stamparatus. Put you in there with your Stamparatus. Okay. Alrighty. We are done, guys. We have done it. This bow's a little bit bigger, but that's okay. I think it actually looks good, a little bit bigger. All right, well, join me for project number 3 and check out my website, www.carolbcrafts.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.